What's up, YouTube? Today I'm doing a ban list prediction video, or wish list. Parts of this are more wish lists than others, but there are some parts I really believe. Um, I know we're getting the list on Friday, but I wanted to also touch on a few things. The first thing, Japan didn't change their list. The OCG list did not change, and that's a shock to me, because in my opinion, our list is more balanced than the OCG's is. And our list isn't very balanced. Dragon Rulers dominate. So, I honestly feel that them not changing their list is really awkward, and it kind of shocked me when I actually found out about it. I found out, like, maybe a couple weeks ago, but I don't see how they were able to get away with not actually changing the list, because I think their list was actually pretty bad. The only thing I liked more on their list than I did ours was the limiting of Tias over Dragoons. And the reason that I liked the limiting of Tias over Dragoons is because it simply gave less ways to discard Dragoons, and it took away a searcher anyway. And I felt that that would keep the deck consistent, but it didn't it didn't hurt it as much. I mean, because with Tias you could search cards like Pike, which you can't search with Dragoons. You could search Lind, which you couldn't search with Dragoons. I think the searches were better than what Dragoons gave you. Dragoons gave you your Atlanteans or a Megalo, and I believe that's it. But, I mean, I honestly feel that that was probably the better one, and I feel that's the only thing they did better than us. I don't like the fact they limited Stratos, as you'll see Stratos is actually on this, but let's get into it. The part I really feel I'm confident in is what's getting banned, and I feel Sixth Sense is going to get the ban hammer. I think they're going to have to kill Sixth Sense, and just get rid of this card. Because, to be honest, I don't care if a card is luck-based. If you can potentially go +5 with one card, the card needs to be banned. Because, in my opinion, this card, hit or miss, in certain decks, it's going to be broken no matter what happens. If you call 5 and 6 and you roll a 4, in Light Sworn, and you send 4 cards to the graveyard, you're not really that upset. I mean, unless you happen to mill, like, your spells. But that's unlikely. And it's even playable in some other decks. People are splashing this in everything. You can splash it in Bujin. I wouldn't recommend it, but it can be done. It's a splashable card if you want to play with luck. Now, I honestly think I don't care if it's luck. I hate the fact that I have lost games where I've been in complete control to Sixth Sense. There was a game a couple days ago. I was on DN playing, and I was controlling the game. I had like 8, I think I had full life, and he had like maybe 1200. And he had no cards in hand. I had an Ophion on field, and this was against Dragon Rose. And he flipped Sixth Sense and got 6. And he called 5 and 6. And then he had Blaster Pop. He popped my Ophion, and I was just like, well, damn, that kind of changes the game. And he brought back his other dragons, and he actually won. So I was not happy with that outcome of the duel. And I honestly think this card just needs to go away. Next, Return from a Different Dimension needs to be banned. And I don't say this because the card is uber stupid busted. I feel that the decks that it go with, it makes them stupid uber busted. Because I'm gonna be truthful. If Dragons did not have Return from the Different Dimension, that deck wouldn't be half as scary as it is. Because the whole time, you're thinking, if they flip Return, I lose. Return from the different dimension is the win button. It's not arguable. You will always have half your life points to pay, unless you're at 0, in which case you already lost. And this card is just, it's nutty. I mean, you can special summon 5 beat sticks. Does that seem fair to anyone? Because it sure as hell doesn't seem fair to me. I think this card needs to go. Coming to 1. This is what I see coming to 1. And this is more what I feel should come to 1. I mean, there's a couple cards on here I think that actually should. But these are what I would want to. First one, I think this one legitimately could. I see no reason for it to be banned. Is Magician of Faith. And let's be honest, guys. Getting back a spell is not that bad. There are 3 spells left in the game that have a significant impact on the game. Dark Hole, Book of Moon, and Mystical Space Typhoon. And 3 cards is not really that bad if you can get one of them back. Not to mention the card is slow. If you're going to set Magician of Faith just to get back 1 card, it better be worth it, and you better have that card in the graveyard when you have Magician of Faith. Otherwise, you're just going to have a dead card in your hand. And I feel that Magician of Faith would have no impact on the game whatsoever. So I feel it can come back to 1. I would like to see it go back to 1 before it goes to 2 or 3. Kind of like what they did with Tsukuyomi. Just give it that little test run and see what happens. And then slowly bring it back into 2 or maybe even 3 copies. But I feel that's how they need to handle it. Next up, Dragon Ravine. I'm sorry. As long as this card is around, Dragon Rulers can be a deck. This card should be at 1. Because if you get Ravine, and you are just dumping cards into the grave repetitively, and then I MST it. I finally MST it, and I finally deal with my issue. And then you put another one on board, it's like, well, damn. Here comes more advantage. And I feel that's not fair, and I don't think it's good for the game. I think this card is not very... While Dragon Rulers are at 3 apiece, this card is not... It's not okay. Next, Sacred 7-Star Sword. Again, because of dragons. This card is fine if Dragon Rulers weren't at 3. I think this card might even be fine if Dragon Rulers were all at 2. I'd be okay with it. Because then they'd have to decide, and they'd have to make a skillful decision. Okay, do I get to search now? Because if they decide they do, and then, well, damn, I needed to use that effect to OTK you, then they're kind of going to be screwed. And they will have beaten themselves. Cards of Consonance. If you hit Dragon Ravine to 1 and you hit Sacred Sword to 1, Cards of Consonance is their draw card that's left. And Blue Eyes E-Dragons will be the norm to see play. And I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want Dragon Rulers to dominate another format. I just don't want it to happen. And it can't happen. So limit the deck with, like, just destroy it and then bring back pieces of it slowly. That's what I want to see happen. Grand Spellbook Tower. This is the reason why that deck is good. It really is. This card generates all their advantage. I don't care about Spellbook of Fate. Deal with my monster, but don't have 2 draw phases. That's broken. Elemental Hero Stratos. This card did not deserve to be banned. That's why. Abyss Sphere. The card at 3 is way too powerful. The card at 2, getting there. The card at 1, it might be underwhelming or just right. I don't know. So it should either be at 2 or 1. But for the sake of this video, I'm saying 1 because, I mean, they can still special summon Tias and do things. Yeah. Last card going to 1. Royal Oppression. Okay, guys. I'm gonna say this once. The card is not broken. This card is not broken in any way, shape, or form. If you're going to spend 800 life points, paying to stop my summons, then go ahead. I'm going to special summon all day. I'm going to special summon 12 times in one turn, or at least attempt to. And if you stop, you can't stop all of them. So I think this card needs to come back. Skilled players can use this card very effectively, and I hate the fact that cards that encourage skilled play in this game are not, like, I hate that this card is banned. This card's not broken. It's just not. Next up, Thunder King going to 2. These are my semi-limits. Okay, Thunder King at 1. Did nothing last format. It didn't do much the format before that. It's not doing anything this format. Why is this card at 1 again? The card is kind of, like, not that great. Now, in my opinion, this card is going to 2, or this card's actually getting banned. That's what I can see happening. I don't see them leaving it at 1. And the reason I could see it getting banned is because Mistake is this without a body, and they want to sell Mistake. So, they need to do something to make that appealing. Banning Thunder King is a way to do that. But I don't want that to happen. I want the card to go to 2, because I feel that the card is just, it's worthy of being at 2, and I don't think it's worthy of being at 1. Book of Moon. All I have to say is, this card is inherently a -1. So, obviously, if you're getting a plus off of this card, you're playing it well, and you're playing skillfully. So again, skilled cards should be acceptable in this game, not on the ban list. I mean, this card shouldn't be at 3, but 1 is a little bit much. 2 Compulse. I want 2 Compulse. Again, this card inherently, it's either a 1-for-1 or a -1, and again, like, if you're getting a plus off of this card, you are playing it very well, and again, skill in this game is important. Macro and Dimensional Fissure. Why? Because I feel side deck cards should not be limited. Going to 3. I can see these cards going to 3. TG Striker. What did it do at 2? Top 2 regionals? Maybe 3? Didn't do anything else. Bring it to 3. Soul Drain. This card should be at 3. Again, do not limit side deck cards, especially ones that have a blatant cost to them. Like, you have to pay 1,000 life. That, like, I don't know if people realize, but 1,000 life is actually a decent chunk. And if you pay for it multiple times, and it actually makes a difference. So, yeah, I bring this card up. And last, Plague Spreader Zombie, because zombies didn't do anything with this card and Mizuki at 2, so bring this to 3. I think Mizuki going to 3 is a little bit much, at least now. I would like to see what happens with this first, because I feel Plague Spreader going to 3 is a much more safe route to go with the zombies than giving them back almost everything. You give them back 3 Mizuki, they basically have everything they used to play. And I would like to see a little bit more of a test run with that. Again, I have to save to make sure I don't time out. But again, I would like to see a test run. I feel that cards need to see test runs. The same thing with Magician of Faith. Like, in my opinion, I see no reason why that card couldn't instantly go to 2, but I would like to see it go to 1 first. I mean, I don't know. I would like to see it. I might even say that about Soul Drain too. I would like to see it go to 2. And I mean, this card isn't going to have an adverse effect on the game, but I would like to see. I like test runs. I just feel like that's good in Yu-Gi-Oh. So, comment, like, subscribe if you like this video. If you feel it's appropriate. I'll be uploading a video for you guys on Wednesday. And I'll talk to you guys later. Alright, bye.